So in today's show, we're going to talk about how you can stay hungry for life. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Boardman. And if you are coming through, please do let me know down below. Please let me know what you think about it. Please let me know if you can resonate with this and just sort of contribute towards the community. How are we doing? Hope you're well. Hope you had a good weekend. Sunday, spent most of the day stressing out, getting almost the Christmas shopping done. I'm 90% there. It's the most efficient I've been ever at Christmas and the most broke. So listen, if you've ever achieved a milestone in your life, it could be anything such as running a 10K when you never thought you could, or reaching the heights of a marathon, or doing a 50 or 100 mile ultra race. If you've ever started and created a business and you've achieved what you set out to achieve in business, and you reach those goals and aspirations that you set yourself out at the very start, and you started with the end in mind. If you ended up chasing the girl of your dreams and end up getting her and end up marrying her and setting yourself up for life, then you would have all have experienced the emotions of having a milestone, of having reached a milestone, okay, of having achieved something that you set out to do. And through that process, from start to finish, you kind of always had this sense of purpose, direction, drive, passion, and it would have been a journey that you would have gone on, and you would have achieved that milestone, and then you would have hit what I would call the now what phase. Now, when we get to that phase, something kicks in that obviously affects everybody, and it affects your hunger and passion and drive for success in your own life again. It creates, if you like, the roller coaster effect, where we're on it, we're not. We're on it, we're not. I used to, I am. I used to, I am. And you're going around in vicious circles of everything that you're doing in your life. And it's called complacency. Now, complacency comes about, I feel, that when you've become comfortable with the things that you set out to do, or you feel like what you've achieved is enough. And then but the problem with the complacency thing is that when you get to there, okay, you don't feel as hungry anymore. You don't feel as passionate. You don't feel like you need to show up anymore. You feel like you've achieved something. So what we end up doing is going back to the way that we used to be before we experienced that journey, that milestone. Now, for me, life is a series of chapters, micro chapters that we build up through our life, and we collect them as we go, right? And building up those chapters allow us to learn, gain experience, become more resilient, reach new milestones. We learn, we grow, and we repeat. And one of the things that I've always been saying recently, and I've talked an awful lot about in the last 4 months, is the need for a mission, for a long-term vision, okay, that becomes your mission. And the reason that we need that is that because we need to make sure that we're evolving for each chapter. So what will end up happening is that we'll reach a milestone, then we must go on to the next thing and start a new journey and process for that next milestone we're trying to achieve. And the problem is, if we don't have this mission, if we don't have this long-term goal, or those long-term aspirations, we're dead in the water. We don't become hungry. Our old life of old habit and old routine, they end up smothering us like a tidal wave or a blanket. And you forget everything that you've ever achieved. You used to become the guy that said, oh yeah, 2 years ago I was the guy, I run a marathon, or, my wife left me because there was no passion in our relationship, or my business started to crumble because it plateaued and, there was no fire in the business anymore. So we have to have this long-term vision, this mission that we're on. And in that mission are a series of battles that you've got to win. over and over and over and again. It can't be just like one milestone and then you fuck off for 2 years and then come back. There has to be consistent, okay? And how we do that, and if you like, I like the saying never peak. Now, when we do life audits, and I've talked about life audits before, if you've read my book, It's a State of Mind, we audit ourselves out of 10, 10 being high, 0 being low. And the reason I never score myself 10 is because once I've hit 10, I've almost reached my peak, which means complacency creeps in. And when complacency creeps in, we go through all of those things that I mentioned earlier. So when we get to the 8s and the 9s, that's when we need to look at our mission, the things that we're achieving or trying to achieve. Look at how we've evolved, reflect, analyse, and then up our game, or up the level that we're working to. If we just stay that same, if I said I was going to do a 10K, and then I've run, and I said I wanted to do 10K in 8 weeks, but I managed to do 10K in 3 weeks, and I didn't change my goals, my aspirations, and I just become complacent at staying at the same there, am I going to push myself for the rest of that period of time? Am I fuck? I'm going to be underachieving the whole way, and I'm not going to get any satisfaction out of it. I'm not going to get any hunger out of it. No passion, no drive. So when we hit that 10K, that's when we look at it and go, right, I need to evolve here. Right, I'm going to up it to, I'm going to try and go for a 10 miles. Fucking 10 miles. I've got 5 more weeks to try and achieve 10 miles. So you then up your game, you stay in hungry. The carrot's always dangling in front of you, the thing that you're trying to achieve. And that, I feel that so many people do go wrong because they don't show the awareness or consciousness that is required to recognise your own self in evolving and getting better and growing and peaking too soon or peaking too early, or not having that long-term mission that we're working towards that's going to make the real difference. And I think these things are really important for our mental health, our emotional health, our physical health, our relationships, our careers, okay, our friendships with our friends. And these sort of things are important to recognise. So we stay hungry by never peaking, by having the mission, by constantly evolving, by constantly analysing ourselves and saying, am I performing at this level? Am I underachieving? All right, now's the time to fucking step up. Let's get fucking hungry. Let's put something out of the comfort zone. When you're in the comfort zone, when you're complacent, that is when you start to slip. That's when you start to get frustrated, start getting bored, start slipping back into old ways and old habits. So just there are just some thoughts for process, you know, and some things to think about, especially as we come towards the end of the year. Everyone gets on the fucking high horse, ready to go, oh, brand new year, new me, fuck off. It's really got to be about actually stuff that you can achieve, micro chapters that you can achieve, analyse, manage, okay, and be able to exceed the expectations that you set yourself sometimes, or not expectations, but limits. Avoid complacency at all cost, because it's like fucking going, it's like snakes and ladders. When you get up there, when you hit complacency, you go all the way down that fucking snake, all the way back down the board, and then you end up getting super pissed off and losing. So don't do it. Let's have a great week, all right? Let's have a really good week. I'm going to see you on Wednesday next for the next Rise to Thrive show, and I'll see you there. Some things to think about, be great between now and then. If you went away and start creating some form of mission, some form of milestone, if you're showing complacency right now, think about how you can get out of that to start getting hungry and passionate again when you wake up in the morning, or whatever it is that you're doing. And if you want to share that, stick it in the comments below.